I just realized I'm kind of wearing green a little bit. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a problem. It's literally the same color too. Oh my god. Okay, well, I'm not stripping for you guys. So I'm not sure if you guys could see this, but today's gonna be in particular pretty busy because this time instead of one Kurt Direct or press conference that we're watching per day, now there's two. That's not really necessarily a bad thing. Competition is good for the video game industry. I just fear for my wallet. That's all. That is a lot of zero C's, 18 pluses. Oh my god. You can tell this is gonna be a very much adult-oriented game. That's right. M-rated Banjo-Kazooie. It's gonna take a route that's similar to Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's been forever since they had a last game, and this entire game premise is just them sulking over how they're a goddamn fad back in the 90s. Ubisoft dropped the ball when they did not announce or showcase even Beyond Good and Evil 2. If Microsoft showcases even a glimpse of Banjo-Kazooie, except for maybe like backwards compatibility for Nuts and Bolts, or a remake slash remaster of Nuts and Bolts, that would be awful. Then I will forgive them. Oh yeah, they showcased that like 3 E3s ago. We barely know any information on that thing. Okay, no need to toot your own horn there, Bethesda. We know you make good games. Is that the release date? November 11th, 2022? Wait, that's next year. Okay. Didn't really see a whole lot of gameplay there. It was like a CG trailer, and this is the premise of, basically, space travel, I guess? Is it gonna be kind of like Skyrim, but in space? So, like, I don't know, Metroid Prime? Oh my god, they own Senua? They own Hellblade? Holy shit, that was a PlayStation exclusive back then, wasn't it? I remember, like, Xbox was, like, going on, like, a massive, like, buyout spree with, like, a bunch of companies. They own, like, Double Fine, they own Bethesda. Who else do they own? They own a lot. They own a lot of companies because of the buyouts. Come on, Xbox, give me something. Sea of Thieves? I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves when I was playing it with my nephew. It was fun, but at the same time, it's also one of those games where like you kind of have to be dedicated yourself to keep on playing. And most of the time when I was playing through it, like it kind of got a little bit too repetitive. Like I get that's the kind of the idea of finding treasure in a distant island and like deciphering the maps and all that and the puzzles. It's just that after you kind of do it over and over and over again, it's like, okay, is there anything else? Or are they like, or is Rare kind of like relying on you to like keep on playing with your friends? I know there's like PvP, maybe that might have changed things or not, but we didn't really bother because we didn't want to lose our loot. And I don't even think like we really like connected on a whole lot of online. Hey! Okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute that they have Jack Sparrow in a pirate game. Hey, that's a cute expansion. This seems like an ongoing like, service game. I think that's kind of like an accurate representation of Sea of Thieves, right? It's a multiplayer online service game. Unless this is a sequel. An epic original story. Is this a sequel or is this like coming free to Sea of Thieves? Okay, it's an update. That's actually even better because if it's free, then that's a very good way to. Oh shit! Wait a minute. What? Why are they? Are they announcing Yakuza 8? Or are they just announcing that Yakuza 7 is gonna go to Game Pass? I already forgot what I was about to say. I was still in the middle of my Sea of Thieves conversation, but I forgot the freaking baby! Guys, if you haven't played any of the Yakuza series, do it. It's freaking fun. You kind of don't really have an excuse, because originally it was a PlayStation exclusive, and now Xbox players are gonna enjoy it. Yeah, Like a Dragon. That's now in Game Pass, so now you don't have an excuse. I think you could kind of jump into Like a Dragon without really worrying about the story because it's sort of its own thing in a way. Like even though technically it's a sequel to Yakuza 6, you can still play it on its own and still not really understand much of the previous games to understand the full story since, well, different main character and all that as well. So there's that. This looks like Battlefield. I did see an EA and DICE logo. I'm assuming this is Battlefield. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, like, I never got into Battlefield. I think I tried Battlefield 3 at one point. I was completely disinterested in the stories. Like, it was just that boring and bland to me. And again, like, I know like most of these first-person shooter-like games, they're mostly focused on the multiplayer, and I get the feeling that I might enjoy it a little bit more if I played more of the multiplayer. But I'm more of a single-player type of person, not gonna lie. And the story of Call of Duty, at least Call of Duty back then, like what was like at Battlefield 3, what was like released back then in comparison to Call of Duty? I think at the time it was Black Ops. It was either Black Ops or Modern Warfare 3. And even then, both of those stories are better than Battlefield 3's story. I don't know. Maybe Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 2 were better. And I like Battlefield 3 was like not like considered a good game for in terms of its story, but more of its multiplayer because I knew it was a popular game. It was definitely a contender for like or sorry, not contender, a competitor for the Call of Duty series. I just never got into it, honestly. And the same goes for like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, which I was that a prequel? I don't even know because I thought it was like a side game or something because of the name convention. Like, why would they name it Battlefield 1? Was it a remake of the first game or was it a spin-off? Was it its own thing? I don't know. And I think there was also the controversy behind like Battlefield 5 and how like they removed the realism of the previous Battlefield game for inclusivity. And you know what? Inclusivity is fine and all as long as it doesn't like hinder the experience or the historical event of the original. And I think that's what people were like pissed off about is because it actually was a hindrance for the sake of like including diversity rather than like enhancing the experience and including diversity at the same time. Was that the name? Battlefield 2024? Or was that like the release date? I wasn't paying attention. I'm not interested in Battlefield anyway, so whatever. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm always a fan of whenever like games go for like a specific art style, like how Paper Mario has the paper aesthetic, or how Yoshi's Woolly World has the yarn aesthetic. I'm always a fan of those types of games because like it showcases like just the inner creativity of the game developers rather than like your usual realistic or cartoony or anime style video games. Like, not that there's anything wrong with those types of graphic styles, it's just that I kind of seen them all like way too much. I'd like to see something new when it comes to like, especially one that's like that kind of looks like a AAA game as well. In fact, you know what this Psychonauts 2 looks like? It kind of looks like a Hat in Time. I think that type of like 3D art style like just resonates with me, and I'm probably gonna enjoy this one. I do have Psychonauts 1. I really should get into the series. I'm sure like I'll also like enjoy the humor the humor in the game as well because I know like the game is a lot like comedic in terms of like what it has to offer as well. So that could be a fun time as well. What is Hades doing here? This is still a game that as much as I talk praise about it, I still have yet to play it. This really looks like a game that I'm gonna be interested in, and I really want to play it. If only I have the time to actually do so. I don't even own the game yet. I guess that you could say that as an excuse because with games that I don't have the time to play, I actually do own most of them. I still have yet to play Hollow Knights. Everyone's been telling me to play Hollow Knights. I have yet to play it. But at least with Hades, like, I don't... Is that a physical copy? I might want to buy the game just to get a physical copy. I'm always a huge fan of physical games. That's just how it is.
Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play, and invite more of you than
Whoa,
ever
what?
before.
Free to play
I'm
Halo
excited to be here
Infinite
with Joseph
multiplayer.
the creative
You know,
director of
that's
Halo Infinite.
that is definitely one way to
Welcome
entice me of playing Halo
to
Infinite.
Combat
Not that
Evolved.
I was
Tonight
not
in the
going to
fan
play it
favorite
anyways. I'm
Halo
probably going to
3
pick it up day
OST.
one.
Joseph is a
I've always
Halo
been a Halo
enthusiast.
fan, so like,
It is
and
so
I
great
think
to have
like
him
the
back
previous time Halo was
Halo.
showcased, the fact that it was kind of like Metroid Prime in its 3D Metroidvania type of style, I was definitely like intrigued by it because I love the exploration aspect, and I think that's something that Halo has never actually tried to like implement. So I would love to like play Halo in that type of style. I know it's been memed to death because of like that ugly model of one of the enemies, but I don't know. I'm just that type of guy that's able to look past graphics. That's why I'm not bitching that you can't like interact with foliage and Ratchet and Clank. There was like this Twitter like tweet that like has this one dude just complaining about how like there are no footprints or like you can't interact with the plant, so therefore it's not a good game. And I'm like, dude, that's just nitpicky at best. Like, okay, sure, whatever, you can't complain about them, but making that the focal point of why a game is bad is just, well, stupid. Oh, wow. Transitions from cutscene to gameplay. That's always... I always love it when games do that.
Where is Cortana?
Especially when it, like, smoothly goes through it.
Cortana is gone. She's been deleted.
What?
By you?
I want to know what happened to Cortana.
Did you hit your
What
head or
happened to the
something?
naked blue waifu?
Don't you?
It really, like, showcasing how freaking awesome looking the multiplayer is. Halo's multiplayer has always been like something that, at the very least, as a single-player guy myself, enhances the Halo experience because they have both good campaign and multiplayer. Yeah, I think like as much as I like rag on like not being able to like fully play multiplayer games, Halo 2 specifically was like the exception. I played the crap out of that, and although when I say multiplayer, it's mostly like split-screen multiplayer rather than like the online thing. That didn't happen until Halo 3, I think. And even then, like, I think most of my time was occupied on like Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3. A lot of games are releasing this year. Like, I think there was like one game that was coming out in 2022 in this conference so far, and that was Starfield. That's something impressive. Like, so far, almost all the release dates I've seen so far are for this year, and that just means more games to play this year, which means more money that I'm gonna have to spend. Now, as impressive as this actually looks, this is a Blizzard remaster after all. I remember the last time they remastered something, they completely got backlashed from it. I think it was like World of Warcraft 3? Or StarCraft 3? I don't remember. It was like... It was one of the like remasters that they just completely messed up, and you can't even access the original game because of it. So, as much as this Diablo 2, that's what it's called, as much as this looks impressive, this is Blizzard we're talking about. Keep your eyes peeled just in case. I'm getting Fable vibes. I don't know why. I never even played Fable. A Plague Tale. Close enough. It's... Oh, okay, so 2022. This one, at least we get to, like, relax a little bit until next year, I guess. God. That is something that keeps impressive. The repetitiveness, as annoying as it is, it just showcased the power of Xbox Game Pass. Oh my god, why? I already am planning on buying you. You do not need to convince me anymore. Jesus. You already have my money. Stop showing me this. I swear, like, every press conference so far showcases Far Cry 6. I'm already excited for it. You don't need to convince me any further. Trailer is actually different. Definitely is a plus side just shows more of a... And this time it's actually showing gameplay, too! So... Is this the same, like, protagonist, Diego? Or is this someone else? Or is our mission to rescue Diego? I don't know. That's something, like, I'm always, like... kind of don't care about in terms of the Far Cry series, is the main protagonist. I'm not sure if I made that very much clear, but, like, I always thought the main protagonist was always... blank. Boring. What the hell? Oh my god. I remember, what was it? Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4. There was like a freaking honey badger that like was your like partner in crime in terms of like animal companion. So to have a literal cock kill you is just silly in its own right. Oh yeah, Far Cry 6. Looking forward to it, as if I had not showcased that enough. What the? Oh my god, it's a first-person shooter as well? What the hell is this? What? The hell is this game? Slime Rancher? Slime Rancher 2? There's a frick... There was a 1? That looks really interesting. It was like, what, Stardew Valley? As a first-person shooter, except replace the animals with slimes? That looked really interesting. I kind of want to see more of that. God, there's a lot of new IPs, and it looks like these are... Well, then again, I was about to say, like, these look like they're all, like, Xbox exclusive. And unless it says specifically console launch exclusive, I'm not entirely too sure. Ah, speaking of super hot. At least I'm assuming. Because I would look like an idiot if this actually isn't super hot. It's not super hot. God. I am so bad with my predictions. In fact, I think I remember like last time when I said like there was like no Nintendo game that was on sale back in the Ubisoft press conference. I checked the Twitter page of Cheap Ass Gamer, and Rabbids was on sale for $20. That was some convenient timing to prove that I'm wrong. Yo, this game looks pretty damn good. The retro like 8-bit, 16-bit style with the like kind of like the realistic backgrounds. This is basically like Cyberpunk Octopath, I think. Oh wow, it's 15 players now. Okay. Actually makes 3 players and like 3 imposters actually like balance. Because I remember how like completely broken it is to have 3 imposters. That's why like the default should always be 2. One of your ballsy enough. Was it not on Xbox originally? Or... I guess one it was like on all systems, like as soon as like the Switch version came out. Oh my god, anime! Hold up, anime on my Xbox? The blasphemy, what's going on? No, seriously, what's actually going on? This is new. Wolfman! Wolfman! What? Oh, whoa, wait. Whoa. Speaking of Octopath, I feel like Octopath is basically the new Dark Souls in terms of like graphical comparisons, but legit, this looks really good. Yeah, looking forward to it. Oh, 2023, okay. I was looking forward to it, but if I have to wait like 2 more years, then I'm probably gonna forget about it. I hope I don't, because they should definitely advertise what this game looks like. Xbox has not really been advertising like their anime-looking games at all, if not ever. So to have one that like looks unique in the realistic shooters. Occasionally there's like gonna be some sprinkled in cartoony games out there though, but to have like full-blown anime games, that's when, like, like Xbox is definitely being more diverse in their library. Yeah, I can't blame myself for like growing up with Xbox when I'm more into like the anime games and never getting any anime games. Well, aside from like Vesperia, that game like pretty much like overtook my childhood. And that was like the only like JRPG I could play because like what else was there? Final Fantasy 13? Ugh. Yeah, Xbox been shafted when it comes to like JRPG, so having any is always going to be a good surprise for me. Wait, what is this? Age of Empire? It's another multiplayer game that I imagine would be amazing to play against your friends. And then all out like Warfield longevity. Yeah. This is definitely going to be a game that you're going to have to put time commitment if you're willing to like put in the effort to do so. Age of Empires 4. Yeah, I was right. Windows 10 PC, not even Xbox. Wow, it's a PC exclusive game. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, I'm not sure exactly how you could translate top-down tactics games like Civilization and Age of Empires. I think they tried to do that with Revolution, Civilization Revolution specifically, and it didn't really play that well. It was kind of like, well, then again, it was also like kind of a baby version, similar to how Final Fantasy Mystic Quest was like for veteran RPG players. So, yeah, I don't recommend Civilization. Or, I don't recommend Civilization Revolution. It's an expansion, a sequel, an update. What is this? Why are you showcasing us? More plane models? Yeah, I don't think anything could like beat Train Simulator in terms of how much money you're gonna have to spend for every single part of its DLC. Just straight up Flight Simulator? Was it not on Xbox beforehand? Huh. Okay. Da 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 la da da. This is Top Gun. Okay, so they're expanding it with Top Gun. That is cool, I guess. No, it's Forza. Okay. I'm willing to give Forza a chance in terms of like trying out its series. What's a good starting point, or should I just jump into the one I own already? So, Horizon 3? Was it Horizon 3 that I own? I'm trying to remember. It was either Horizon 3 or 3. I'm not sure if there's a difference between the original Forza series and the Forza Horizon series. I don't know. It's a car game. I want to give it a try. I've been playing a lot of Gran Turismo recently, or at least the old school Gran Turismo, specifically Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, and I've been loving the crap out of that game so far. I definitely want to give Forza a chance as well. Because I know a lot of people have been like kind of making fun of the fact that all Forza games are the same, and I don't think that's gonna be the case when I give it a try. Like, okay, you can kind of make the same case for like Madden, but with Forza, it's like I'm not sure. That I feel like you could kind of make an argument against that. Horizon 5. Oh, they made a Horizon 4. I didn't even know that. Day 1 Game Pass. Okay. Maybe that's a good way for me to give it a shot because I have Game Pass. God, YouTube's compression does not make this game look justice because I get the feeling if I actually do get to play this game on the Series X, it will look beautiful as hell. And YouTube is not doing this game justice at all. I think it's a lot easier to make like realistic background like graphics. Human models are like, I feel like the benefactor as how you could tell whether or not something's a video game or CG. We haven't really perfected the how humans look, because there's always like that uncanny valley where you could kind of tell it's still a video game, but like when it comes to like backgrounds, even cars, it's like, yeah, you really can't tell if that's like real life or not. Because yeah, if you like show me this without the UI and just show me footage of like the in-game graphics, I would have just told you guys that, hey, this is straight up real life footage. It's just that good looking. All these players seem to be very much in sync when it comes to their driving. They're not crashing into each other. I would be a completely different player. I would like crash the crap out of all you guys if you play with me. Look at that! Look at how smooth that guy. That fucker did a flip. I don't think I could do any of those. Look, I may know how to do a quarter circle forward motion and a circle motion in a fighting game. I don't know if I could do a flip in a car game. Tekken Bowl in Forza. Oh, create a... Oh my god. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. This kind of looks fun. I'm not sure if, like, Forza is supposed to be, like, a realistic game. That was janky as hell. That looked so much jank, and I love it. Yeah, when it comes to, like, games that just look silly and goofy, but creative, like, I'm a lot more, like, willing to, like, play through those because of how, like, how much fun it looks to play through it. I don't know, I might want to give this game a shot. You can kind of, like, thank Gran Turismo for my interest in racing games nowadays, but, either way, like, that just means more games for me to, like, try out, and Forza kind of looks fun, not gonna lie. That's a lot of games on Xbox Game Pass. Hades. Maybe that's a way for me to, like, actually get into it. Finally. I'm still not sold on Starfield just yet. I feel like I need to see more. At the very least, I need to see gameplay footage if I want to get sold on Starfield. Really, any of the Bethesda games are pretty much lacking. I think, like, that's kind of like the downside of the Xbox Game Conference, is the Bethesda part of the conference. Halo looked interesting. I'm actually looking forward to playing Forza suddenly. And if it's a free multiplayer, I definitely want to give it a try now. And if it's day one Game Pass, I'm definitely gonna freaking play it. I forgot, if they showcased the release date for that, I need to look that up. What else is there? There was a Slime Rancher game that looks fucking cute. I want to see more of that. That looks really cute. I want to try that out. There's also that JRPG game that kind of looked like Octopath, except it was published by Microsoft. I want to see more of that too. Yeah, there's a decent amount of games that I'm looking forward to in this one. I'm surprised, honestly. Like, when it comes to Xbox, they're usually hit or miss. I think this one, like, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, I very much, like, enjoyed it. There were some kind of, like, games that, like, didn't really interest me too much. I think there was, like, that first-person shooter game with, was it Russian or German? I couldn't tell. There was, like, those guys that talking, like, that didn't really interest me too much. Alright, Bethesda, you have, like, one more shot in impressing me. Old games coming to Game Pass. Game Pass is not going to be enough. You've got to show me something that'll blow my mind. I'm not really seeing gameplay. Okay, I am always going to be the type of person that will straight up say, like, if you don't have gameplay footage, I don't think I'm going to be as interested as if it's a CG trailer. Unless that CG trailer is somehow, like, able to entice me. What the fuck? What the fuck? So is this like a multiplayer versus game? One guy is the vampire baddies, the other guys are shoot. I'm never interested in these types of games. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys. I don't think I'm going to be interested in this one. And if this is going to be their finale for the conference, they could have ended it in something more enticing. I mean, it's better than freaking Avatars at the very least. Like, at least this thing looks like it's a brand new IP. It's just, I don't know. Like, if you're gonna end it on a brand new IP, make it look interesting. This kind of looks like, I guess art style wise, like,
I think there's vampire in this.
at least it's like it has its own style, like the cartoony like faces.
Blood and death. And strawberry.
Sun's coming up.
But I don't know. The fact that there's like really no gameplay doesn't really showcase like what this game is all about. Is it multiplayer? Is it a single player experience? Is it a cooperative game? We won't know. Redfall. Cool. Now, yeah, that was the Xbox / Bethesda showcase, and I believe Square Enix is about to start up in 30 more minutes. So stay tuned for that reaction, where I will also somehow react to Far Cry 6 somehow.